Well, hey, Gundam Maniacs, welcome to the Gundam Explained Show. I'm your host, Adam Blue, and joining me is Steven of Midnight Hatter. Steven, what's up, man?
Not a whole lot. How you doing?
Doing good. So if you guys missed it, yesterday was fun. Maybe for others, it was kind of annoying because of my card game playing.
I mean, for me, it was fun because I won.
Good. Yeah, no, and I like that because then it means it was a real game. No, but no, it's really fun, guys. Check it out. We're playing the Gundam card game, and I historically have never played card games, so I feel like I'm a little slow at the beginning, but then it starts ramping up, especially near the end. It really clicked with me. The whole time I'm wanting to just battle mobile suits, but really I should be attacking the base.
That's,
And
it's the exact opposite of what you do in GBO2. Because GBO2, man, when you see the noobs get out of their mobile suit and they run straight for the base, and it's like, no, wait until the end of the match. Like, stop.
Yeah, I know. It is interesting. Or even when I'm playing SDG Generation Genesis, I like to take my time and take out all the mobile suits before I do the main thing.
Dude, I am so glad you brought that up because one of the big tricks right now, and there's probably 2 hours left to finish in G Generation Eternal, the mobile game.
Oh yeah.
There's about 2 hours left to finish uh the Generation Tower East, which is how you unlock Lacus Klein as a supporting character. And one of the things that they tell you is don't attack every mobile suit. Like literally the strategy is to send a bunch of defenders to the bottom of the map and let Mu Laflaga just like pepper them the entire match, and you focus on, because the only thing you have to do to win is beat Kira and Atherin.
Okay. Yeah.
So why waste all of your effort trying to fight Mu and like the other ships? You just keep them distracted off in the corner and you take out Kira and Atherin, and then boom, you win the match. Same thing with the Gundam card game. It's like, do you fight all of the little mobile suits on the map, or do you go straight for the base and just take it out?
So that's very interesting because it made me think of. I mean, first I gotta really understand the game more, even though I think I do after playing these two games with you. But like, it would be cool to have one with alternate rules where it's maybe the shields are doubled, or something, or something where you can only attack the shield. Maybe there's a separate shield area that every time you destroy a mobile suit, it removes that, and then once that's done, it's like, okay, now you can attack. If people wanted longer games where there's more battling and
So here's what we need to do is we need to do a team match.
oh, okay, that
Because
would
the
be good.
team match is 2v2 and the players share their shields.
Oh,
So you
that's
can't
interesting.
necessarily like, you can't just hone in on one player and beat the whole thing. It's like you have to distribute your resources evenly across all the players, which makes it a little more complicated.
I think the next step is really just finding the time for us and even more to play more online. It doesn't even have to be live stream. It can just be Discord. We've talked about
Yeah.
that. Like, we really got to set time aside for that because I think that would be such a fun thing every once in a while to just, hey, let's play a card game real quick. Especially, and this is what I'm waiting for, to get to the point to where I understand it enough where there could be the normal banter as we play and talk, and not like, wait, what does this actually do? Let me think. Wait, rested, or that
I
whole.
know, because you had no idea when I played that Shenlong, you had no idea how broken that card is. Like it was like, wait, he does how much damage? And
Right.
it like, yeah, no,
And
that's
what was funny about that is, too, I had no idea how much of an attachment you had to it, because I was like, I got to get this guy out of here, and then you're like, for taking out the Shenlong, here's another one. That was pretty fun, man. That really was. But yeah,
yeah.
so check out that video from yesterday. It's totally cool. I want to be able to do that some more. Other things. So yeah, let's start for this episode. There's some unboxings I'm going to do of some things I got. That's pretty cool. I know if you're watching or if you're listening, you're not going to see it, but if you're listening, I'll do my best to describe it. But we actually got something in from Ian Hansen, Sneaky Sama. Link below. We'll show that. And then the other funny thing that you guys have to see yesterday during the card game, and I don't know how visible it was to everyone, but I dropped my water bottle and some water came out. It didn't really ruin anything, luckily, but it was funny how it all sort of just happened as I was like, oh my God, and now we're live and I'm having to but what I did was I went out. Actually, I didn't go out. It was the reverse. Amazon went out and handed me and it was just cheap. I think it was like $6 for a whole, it's like 1,000, but these are cheap just because I don't know yet. I'm still learning, what this stuff is. And then maybe I'll open this in a second. This is just a normal box to put my cards in. Like, that's not like a deck, just so it's like, okay, here's all the cards, and then go through and be like, what do I want to build out of? Just
That's
because right
pretty
now
cool.
I have them in the regular boxes and it just doesn't seem like a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, and I love containers of all sorts. Like, I think in another life I might have been a mom because like I love the Container Store, and they're one of my favorite like board games slash card games is, are you familiar with a game called Dominion?
That sounds familiar, but explain.
Dominion is a very cool card game because it's all in one box. It's not like a collectible card game where you have to buy booster packs,
You told me
but
about it, yeah.
every player starts with 10 gold. You have 10 gold coins as your deck, and every turn you get to use that gold to buy cards from the pile. And so it's like, I'm going to use 3 gold to buy this spy. I'm going to use 5 gold to buy this knight and things like that. And you basically build your deck throughout the course of the game. It is so awesome because
I'm
it's like it's all of the joy of a trading card game like this, but without the pay to play, like the pay to win aspect
Yeah.
of it. Because like obviously, you could go out and go on TCG Player and buy every card you need to make the perfect meta Gundam deck.
Oh yeah.
But with a game like Dominion,
It wouldn't be like
it's
that. It's each
totally
game. It's
fair.
I
But
remember you telling me about this, and I'm like Southland Tales. I need to pick it up. But no, really, I think that would be a great type of game to just have around.
I think that there needs to be like a mecha version of Dominion.
Okay, let's make it.
Game on.
Let's do it.
Go for it.
I'm sure now there's going to be some U.S. manufacturing of cards, so people don't have to spend $80 shipping overseas.
Oh my gosh, no kidding, man.
Yeah, let's see what happens with that. Because I normally buy from Ami Ami,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just wondering. I haven't seen or heard anything yet. If the shipping price, they don't do DHL anymore,
Right.
But I don't want to complain because the other shipping option is usually cheaper than DHL. It's just it takes longer.
Right.
So, I've ordered from Ami Ami twice with that shipping method, and everything's been awesome. So, and then I got. Oh, I don't think I've shown this off. I got. Let's see. Jackie Chan, SH Figure Arts. I have him smiling. I ordered that from Hobby Genki.
I like how it's not even a character. It's SH Figure Arts Jackie Chan.
Actually, it's Inspector. It's Inspector Chan from Police Story. But it's just for me, it's a Jackie Chan action figures. I've always wanted a Jackie Chan action figure. I remember when I was a kid in the mall, they'd have specialty shops that had these dolls of Jackie Chan, which was cool, but that wasn't what I wanted. I wanted an articulated thing, the fight and all that.
You're a boy. Boys don't get dolls.
Well, I don't know. But anyway, what I would love next is a version from Rumble in the Bronx where he has the sleeveless black shirt,
yes,
and the jeans, because that's like a badass. And then even First Strike, if you remember First Strike, it had the snow and he had that like cool snow outfit, but then it was like, I think it was yellow and black, and then he was fighting with the ladder scene. Oh, dude, love Jackie Chan. It's like with Godzilla or little things where I have these small bursts for a few months where I just like last year was just all Jackie Chan movies for like months.
So tell me, I'm curious about your opinion as a Jackie Chan fan.
Ooh.
So there was that movie, I think it was called The Forbidden Kingdom,
right, with Jet Li
and Jackie Chan. What was your take on that film? Because obviously
I didn't watch it.
What?
No. I know, isn't that crazy? It's because that is not the setting I care for a Jackie Chan movie.
Because it's like a fantasy, yeah. Because it's interesting to me that movie is like, I watched it and I thought it was good. I mean, it's not anything spectacular, but I think that it was so novel and like And of course, it's the only time that they've ever gotten Jackie Chan and Jet Li together in a film.
And sometimes that can ruin a person. There was that movie with Jackie Chan and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oof.
And no. They had small cameos throughout, but it was it was a fantasy thing.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, it's cool, and I feel like in general the martial arts movie, and I think that's just what it is. The studios just don't know, like when they see something works that they're not doing, they're like, well, then let's not do what we're doing. So, and what I'm trying to say is, I think like The Naked Gun or like horror movies, I think low budget martial arts action flicks would do really well in the theater. In fact, what is actually pretty awesome is where I live, there's a lot of there's a large Indian and Nepalese community. So the movie theater near me, they will play, just some screens will have some Indian Bollywood films.
Yeah.
But they are usually awesome. Like I'll watch a trailer, but they're like 4 hours long, and then they have like it's almost like they're like, oh, that's how America makes action movies. Okay, and then they just go all out with the special effect. It's almost like they're not trying, and that's the thing. No aspect is trying to hold anything back. It's like we'll just go all in. If there's fighting, there's probably gore. Like that's it's. But anyway, I do think the martial arts movie can come back, and I do think you could, for instance, make a Batman martial arts movie where it's more focused on him sneaking around, doing martial arts, solving a crime, and then you can keep it low budget.
Hey man, I keep saying that the best superhero movies have always been movies that are a genre movie that just happen to have superheroes in them, like Captain America, the World War II flick that just happens to have Captain America in it. Captain America 2 it's like Jason Bourne, but with Captain America in it. Like,
would you say Blade is just an action horror film?
Yeah, Blade falls into that category of
it's a type of movie. Yeah,
it's urban because it's modern, but like it falls into that gothic horror trope that was going on at the time. Like I think League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Van Helsing, like those types of movies that were the late 90s, early 2000s, it falls into that category. Like at least as far as I know,
because of the leather stuff and the sunglasses, like that.
BDSM,
even though it's cool, it's something that they wouldn't utilize today in that same fashion. So I see what you're talking about. And what's really awesome about that, and I know I've talked about it on here, David Fincher pretty much wrote and conceptualized Blade, and he was going to direct it, but it was last minute. The special effects guy that worked on Aliens directed it, and it still turned out good. But I think what helped with that movie was a visionary, because he said when he worked with David Goyer, the producer, he would throw him all these pictures, music, and be like, okay, this is what it feels like. This is what it, and I think that is very important when making a story. Is like, what do these things feel like?
And choreography is a huge part of that, because with Jackie Chan movies, Wesley Snipes obviously did a lot of
design
choreography because he is he is a
that elevates it.
Artist. Yeah,
because
I think that helped with Star Wars too, having someone like Ray Park.
Be Darth Maul.
Oh man,
because that's such an impact. Even though people would trash the prequels, everyone liked that whole Darth Maul scene. That's like
no one talks crap about the fight scenes. They only talk crap about the acting. And
exactly. Yeah. Oh, did you see Red Letter Media did a Mr. Plinkett video about the state of Star Wars?
Oh, geez, I need to check that out.
It's pretty good, because what he did was, in a way, by the end, like it's very interesting. They said a lot of what I think, where as cool as Andor is, it's just a good show. Is it really a good Star Wars show? You know what I mean? Because it's just a good show, one of the best shows that have come out recently. But for Star Wars, whereas then you had The Acolyte, which a lot of people hated, but then you see a lot of prequel defenders, yet a lot of the stuff people originally hated about the prequels is what's in Acolyte. So it just, what I like about what Mr. Plinkett does is he's kind of dissecting the intercourse, the discourse, intercourse too, and getting an idea of what people are it's not literally making fun of people, but dissecting,
Just
like,
pointing out the hypocrisies.
yeah,
Yeah.
in a way where, because I feel like sometimes I don't know necessarily where, like, they make the point about Acolyte and the prequels being similar, but I think it's just similar in certain things that the creators liked about the prequels that they
And
put in it.
it could be like superficial, like that level of similarity. And to bring it full
Yeah.
circle,
Yeah.
you know, Andor is something similar to something like 0080 is to Gundam,
Oh,
where it
yeah.
doesn't have the new type stuff. Like Andor doesn't have Jedi,
Right.
but it tries to capture the world building and the drama of Star Wars without tapping into that Skywalker saga. Similarly, 0080 captures the futility of war and the pain that people are going through, especially being a war orphan like Al. Well, not a war orphan,
Yeah,
but
but caught up
obviously a
in,
kid that's caught up in that world
yeah.
without touching on the new type stuff and without touching on Shar and Amuro. And so it's like they're very similar in that regard.
Yeah, in fact, you bring up a good point, because in Andor, the thing I don't like about it is it kind of lacks the adventure that would come from Star Wars. And
Mhm.
what 0080 does to solve that is it makes it from a kid's point of view, where it's almost the viewer, the audience being like, oh, cool, the Gundam universe. We're in a Gundam world now. But then,
Yeah.
like, oh, crap, this is going on. So, yeah,
And it's
again,
cool because you get to like see Al projecting onto like Bernie is not he's not a spectacular pilot. He's not an
yeah.
ace. He's not Shar Aznable.
And it's not
But
like
you get to
he's
see
some,
him from the perspective of Al, who thinks he's the world. Like he
right.
thinks he's the best.
And he's not even someone that necessarily believes in what he's doing. He's just probably some guy that signed up to be in the Xeon military because, didn't really know what to
Yeah.
do. And yeah,
He just
that,
wanted to go to college and was trying to get it paid for.
yeah. No, that's what I love that. And I was talking about with the anime night. I'm gonna make sure I have the crew watch all of 0080 near Christmas.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
Speaking of anime night, this past Sunday, when I had my anime night, instead of having it at my house, we went and saw Shin Godzilla in the theater because they have the 4K.
Oh, cool.
So I think it's so cool and interesting how many times I went to special screenings, I guess just twice, of things related to the Evangelion creator. G-Quux at the beginning of the year, and then Shin Godzilla. I mean,
You're
he's
like, it's
really in
not
the
a lot,
zeitgeist.
but it is weird that it happened twice.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. It wasn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. But I think that says a lot about the creator, Hideaki Anno. It's really cool
Right.
that his stuff permeates the way it does. And anyway, it was like a 4K release, so I don't know what that means, if the originals were 4K or not. I don't know, but that is a really good movie. It is my favorite Godzilla movie, even though as I was watching it, because someone that was with us hadn't seen it, and I was hyping it. And as I'm watching it, even though I love it, I'm like, oh yeah, he wouldn't like that. Oh yeah, he's probably thinking this is a little lame. Just in terms of, I don't know. I feel like Shin Godzilla just subverted movies in general, like the way it told its story. But yeah, so that was that. And what's weird is this Sunday they're doing the orthographic, or I don't know how you pronounce that exactly. So it's a black and white version of Shin Godzilla, again,
Oh,
like in
interesting.
theaters. So it's weird that they do that because I don't really care to watch in black and white. But
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting decision. If it's not something that is done by the director for an artistic purpose, it does seem kind of gimmicky.
mhm.
It's like not
I want to say they did it on purpose. The director did it with -1. The -1
exactly.
director
That
did it
was
on purpose. Yeah,
right.
but
That was
this,
an artistic choice.
okay, so yeah, so this is more, maybe they're trying to capitalize off of that concept.
Right.
Um, well,
It's
um,
funny you mention that because, like, man, I saw the most inflammatory meme today, which
what is it?
was, it's like it's okay to try the first time, and it's someone draws an imperfect circle and they put a picture of Zeta Gundam next to it, and they're like, because you can always perfect it later. And it was a picture of a perfect circle and a picture of G-Quux.
Oh my god.
I just about I, I don't even know. Words cannot communicate my fury for what I was looking at.
Oh man, that I know. That's why you got to stay off the internet
Yeah,
completely.
too
Unplug
much
the
internet today.
unplug the cable. Oh man. But actually here this just got delivered. This and I'm probably not going to mess with it too much right now, but this is just a card holder.
Beautiful box.
Just it was cheap. Um and it was like anyway, it's just I want to start putting and then when I get the booster packs, so I have a place to put everything and then from there start building my decks, which I'm really excited about now that I hear you with like the Fair Act and Elon and like all the different ways you can utilize, or like when I would have Soletta or Amuro show up that I could use as pilots, like, okay, this is going to help me. And I love thinking about that stuff.
Oh yeah, it's real good.
Okay.
I was talking to my coworker about it because like I think that the way that Lucrezia Noin and Shadiq from Witch from Mercury complement one another makes blue-white decks are like I think the blue-white decks are the way to go. And even just looking
Okay.
online, the Gundam card game tournaments that they've got going on in Japan, 30% of players are playing blue-white decks.
Is it because it's easier, perhaps? Or
Possibly. I think that it's easier to play like a green red deck because they're very
oh,
straightforward. You just
okay.
play the card and attack, whereas blue white decks require a little bit of like finesse where it's like, okay, I'm not going to play this turn because I want to make sure I reserve this for this. But then those
Oh.
control style decks allow you to manipulate the battlefield in interesting ways that
So does that mean when it comes to card games, that is like a kind of a preferred or popular way to play to be able to have a little more
yeah,
depth with
it,
your
it's
okay.
it's a riskier way to play because you could lose very early on.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you
I
play
loved
your cards right, pun intended.
oh, that's good. No, I loved yesterday with the base and I had that white base card to put down that it would then remove his shield. And I was like, I don't know if I should do this. And who knows if that was really what led to the downfall or not. I don't know. But I like that happens,
Yeah.
as we okay. A couple other things real quick. I forgot my videos that I had this. Oh yeah, the Heero UE versus Amuro. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I just like Amuro because I just like the original Gundam or whatever. But I'm actually curious what other people thought. So I put up a little poll on. Oh yeah, did I get the results of the poll? I did it just earlier today. So there was 99 votes, which is actually pretty good.
That is good.
71% said. Oh, I said, who's the better pilot? Is it Amuro Ray or Heero Yui? 71% was Amuro Ray and 29 Heero.
There you go.
So what do you think about that?
Well, I guess it depends. Like,
Yeah.
your video said Char's counterattack level Amuro
Yeah.
versus Hero Yui, which I think is very different than saying 1 year war
Yep.
Amuro versus Hero.
Because I figure, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it should be at their max potentials. Which
Yeah, and I wonder, part of me wonders is like, do we think that Char's counterattack Amuro is peak Amuro? Or do we think that
yeah.
maybe do you think he peaked in Zeta?
Yeah, I kind of think that in a way because it's more of there was like a call to action or
Yeah.
whatever. Whereas who knows, which I almost feel like what happens in Char's counterattack is more of just what needs to happen.
Yeah, you ever like read those stories about like the old samurai that get called in for one last hurrah, and it's like they're not quite at their peak, but they're called
Oh,
to
I am
duty.
so glad you just brought that up because I totally forgot. On Tubi, there's a samurai show I was watching and I stopped watching it, but it was that. It's like an older, not super old, but like a samurai that's just kind of like people don't really care about him and then he's caught up in this stuff. Yeah, I like that
Yeah.
trope.
Yeah, it's The Equalizer. That movie
Oh,
series, if
yeah,
you've ever seen it,
I have.
like You know, obviously in those movies, Denzel Washington is an absolute badass, but it
Mhm.
makes you wonder, man, what was he like in his 30s instead of in his
Yeah.
50s? And it's
That's
so
a really good point.
that's the way I feel about Char's counterattack, Char and Amuro, is
Yeah.
it's like maybe they were competent pilots at that time, but were they a little, long in the tooth, and which is
It
crazy to say about like a 31-year-old and a 29.
Right, but I think that makes sense, and that's really cool because what if they did a dual protagonist antagonist thing, and really it was either Camille or Judo, and then Quest were like or you could have they could have maybe did a little more with Hathaway, but maybe not realizing his story would unfold more because yeah, I feel like yeah, that's very interesting. I never really thought of Char's counterattack in that way, but I think that makes it make sense to me.
But yeah, sorry to dodge the question.
No.
I might say that Hero is, well, hmm,
Okay, let me read the comments
yeah,
first,
you
and
go
then
for it.
yeah. So from Atlantic Ocean, Chihuahua. If I said that right, depends on the suit. I'd place my bets on Amuro, but with zero system, I'd give it to Hero. Okay, so that's something to keep in
Yeah.
mind. From Dr. Jim Eagle, II 4108, new type magic versus the zero system. I give it to the Space Wizard. Okay,
Yeah,
I could see that because really, I guess in Wing, there's not really new type stuff.
no.
Whereas Seed goes back to that. Well, actually, after war, I mean, others do, but in the AUs, yeah, that I didn't really think about that. Rogue new type. That's a hard one. I voted Amuro because he's the GOAT, the first Gundam pilot, an absolutely insane war record. True. Heero is a superhuman, trained assassin and ace MS pilot, so he's very, very skilled, just like all the other Wing boys. But I think Amuro takes top spot with his knack for combat tactics and thinking on the fly.
Well, and
And
according to Dr. J, he's actually a very sweet boy.
oh, okay. Well,
I don't know if you remember that
yeah,
line in Wing
not
where
really, but I know
Dr.
what you're
J
talking
is
about.
talking to Relina and he's like, "Oh, in actuality, Hero is a very sweet boy, but he's been trained to complete his mission no matter what." And it's like, okay, dude, I don't think that he's a
Great
sweet
voice.
boy, but
Good voice. People say that about all their kids. Sweet boy, you know.
yeah, he's a sweet boy.
Okay, merely the pawn. Regardless, the correct answer is Chloe Crocet, which
The Toast
is
Ritter pilot.
oh, okay. I was about to say, is that one of the from Missing Link? That whole
Yeah.
that's a cool deep cut. Hero kept from Ares 0083. Hero kept blowing up his suits. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Sid's Sid Sigma Prime. Cool. 6347. It depends on what machines they show up in. RX 782 versus Swing, I got the RX, but if Zero shows up, it's an even match. And from what I got from when I was researching that video with the Zero system, you could wreck shop. So I almost feel like I don't know if the RX 782 could face a Zero system.
Could the new Gundam though?
Yeah, and I almost think it could, just with all the funnel stuff going on and which oh man, I'm making a video about this. Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna but I'll let you kind of finish. What do you think then between Hero and Amuro?
Yeah, I mean, let's go with what you said in the video. New Gundam Amuro versus Wing Zero Hero. I'm going Hero
Oh, cool. All right.
because doesn't matter what kind of fin funnel technique he's got going on. If Hero can predict it using the Zero system, then that gives him the edge.
Yeah, it's true. That's what I'm saying. That Zero system sounds like it's a plot armor
A
thing.
little bit.
Yeah.
Well, so when you brought this up, and I told you I had been thinking about like my fantasy fist fight between Camille and Suletta, and it's like
Yeah,
the
that's
Zeta
right.
Gundam versus the aerial rebuild. One of the tricks that the aerial uses is the permit score overload that takes control of the enemy's gun bits, right?
Yeah.
Zeta Gundam doesn't have permit. So Ariel's ability is negated. But then remember Camille used the biosensor to override the O
Yeah.
and stop it from moving. So Camille can't do his Wave Rider charge on the aerial, which makes it so that their secret weapons, both of their secret weapons, are completely taken off the table.
Oh, okay. So that's cool to think about. What was that moment where one defeated the other? As we look among pilots and see if without that, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, because like, have you ever played like the DC versus Mortal Kombat video game?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it's like Superman's weakness other than kryptonite is magic, because magic doesn't exist, and
Oh,
so
okay.
like it's a weakness that he has. So obviously the characters in Mortal Kombat can set Superman on fire because they have magic that he doesn't have a resistance to. I feel the same way between like Gundam universes, where it's like a
Yeah,
coordinator that uses the ability to manipulate other coordinators doesn't have that ability against someone from UC, like a new type.
yeah. No, that's pretty cool. That would be something to explore more.
Yeah.
And as I was doing the video, I the bits came to mind, like, oh, Hero's not necessarily a new type, but Amuro is, and he can use the fin funnels. And then, I go into these conspiracy theory rabbit holes. You guys know I do that. And what's interesting is I've talked about this, where Microsoft has that Helion plasma generator, fusion generator. But then the scientist behind it made a blog article recently talking about how he's so impressed with the team that they're able to create non-ignition plasma, basically no heat signature. So my
Mm.
first thought on that was, oh, isn't that what they say about the Tic Tac videos? There's no heat signature. I got you. But really, I think this, in our reality, and I'm making a video about this, fin funnels in bits can exist with the types of the plasma, the magnetic condensed, there's a term for it, magnet condensed plasmas that can then be controlled at will by consciousness. Because the other part that I'm not super into, I'll touch on this in my video, is all of the research that even the top physicist Hal Puthoff does with consciousness and controlling things. So it's interesting how much the information is out there in all
Science
these
fiction and
papers.
science fact are very closely aligned.
Yeah,
Um,
it is.
there's a Iron Man comic book series, like when during the Extremis line, where he's talking about like pushing pieces of armor around with his mind and like attaching them to his body.
Oh, that's neat.
And they kind of touched on that in the movies, but they made it more, I don't know, kind of dumbed it down. But it was like, oh no, I'm using it's like the same propulsion technology that I've always used, but instead of like just pushing in one direction, I'm like lightly pushing things towards myself and like connecting them to my body. It's
Oh, that's actually neat. And so yeah, that's what is funny about, like, when I got into Star Wars and through life, and then started getting into more like Eastern philosophy stuff and finding that interesting, being like, wow, parallel with Jedi and stuff. Getting into Gundam and new type and the experiments and what they're trying to do with new types and the weapon technology. It's like, wait a minute, that's what we're seeing in these CIA government docs that are declassified, and what they're coming out with, Microsoft's fusion reactor by Helion, and how they're talking about contained plasma. It's I love it. It's scary, but I love it. And you know what I like to try to think sometimes is, it could be for our own good that this technology isn't widely available. Because really, if you can have something that can not generate heat but power stuff, you could supply power to all the homeless people that need it. But we're not doing it, probably because if you start trying to scale that out, other people with money be like, oh, what's this you got over here? Let me get my hand into that. And that's why they're just, literally, that's why they're just telling Elon Musk, or they're like, yes, build rockets. Yeah, keep going. That's where the propulsion technology is. Keep
how
building
much
your
oil do you need for that?
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly. Yeah. Anyway, moving on from that. Here's something real quick. So Ian Sneaky Sama sent something, and it wasn't actually supposed to get here until tomorrow, but it got here today. So we're going to unbox it real quick.
I
Number
love early
one.
Christmas.
I know. Number one. Oh man, I can't believe how big these boxes are. Speaking of Wing, here is the Wing
Hey.
Zero. Gundam Universe. This is the new one. Can't wait to get this thing opened. That's awesome. And so how it worked was, you know how like sometimes on these streams, I'm like, hey, if anyone out there runs into these things and can get them for me, I will Zell you ASAP. And sure enough, so I'm telling you guys, if I'm talking about some Gundam item I want, and it's hard to find, hit me up. I will Zell you immediately.
It's true story.
And then we got the Epion, which looks sick.
Beautiful.
I cannot wait to open these and review these. Now, quick question. As a content creator and as maybe a viewer, do I review both in one video, or are they separate videos?
That is a good question.
It is. And maybe
do them together in one video, but then shorts of individuals.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Okay, oh, wow. So he added some other stuff in here, and we're seeing it for the first time. Oh my gosh. So
he's like, I can't reveal these pictures that he sent of me.
No, but wow, a display background panel. And that might have been something that was, special with buying where he bought them or something. But what I'm about to show you, I cannot believe this. Metal Robot Spirits. Force Impulse. And I'm assuming he gave it to me just because back when I was, because he found my channel due to me reviewing Robot Spirits.
Yeah.
He would always show me his wing seed stuff, and I'm like, you see, I'm just used. But then I bought the Wing Zero, and I liked it, and I was like, man, I need to get that Force Impulse. So wow, wow. And I don't think, and I want to say, I don't think he like bought me this. I really think this is just one from his collection. So
he does have a mighty collection.
Yeah,
of Robot Spirits. Like
he does. And usually I ask him questions, like if it's like, hey, what about this release? When did this come out? Blah blah blah. So thank you, Ian.
God, I love Seed Destiny.
Yeah, and I love now that I have all these things to review. I love that I'm filming myself playing with my toys. It's
such a good feeling.
Okay, I'm going to do something here that's really crazy, everyone. I am going to, in the chat, and how can I do this? Can I just put a URL in the chat and it works?
I mean, it's your channel. You can do whatever you want.
Okay, I didn't know if there was like a blocker or something. No, it's there. So guys, if you want to call in right now, I don't know how easy it's going to work, but you can click that link. You will be in the room. You will be muted. And then I'll be like, oh, hey, so-and-so is here. I'll bring him in. Now, your video won't be in, but you'll be able to talk to Steven and I, and we'll talk to you. And just to keep the show going, if it starts getting...
What do you want to call it? Like one question that we can go round table on per person?
I don't know. Just call in and we'll see what happens. I don't want to be mean. They'll be like, okay, yeah, we got to keep this going now. But anyway, throwing that in there, feel free to click. What was the other thing? Okay, so the other video that I dropped, I think it was on Wednesday, was those little blind boxes. And it's very interesting. The store is called Miniso, Miniso. And I actually can't believe how many there are. Near where I live, there's like 3, and they're actually building another one even closer. And they have, actually, let me show them real quick. Like, these little, blind box, rising things. And then the really neat one, the Yuru gun, which is really cool. Like, usually this is not a thing, but I like especially if you see it in close in person, it's like, it's very detailed and nice. You don't see like production seam lines where maybe there's some plastic hanging off or anything. There's no like paint issues. And I think that's what stood out for me. Jonathan Epan is saying this is a Korean shop. Okay, that's cool. Same thing. No, I'm joking. I got canceled. But so I would love to collect these. I just don't know if I
Where
would.
do you begin? Like, how do you even?
I know, because not only do I know if I'm going to get them, but not that they're expensive, they're $10, but what if I start getting duplicates? I'm like, okay, I just wasted $10. That's why I wish there was like a trade community,
Right. And that really is the secret behind all, like
Okay.
hobby communities, right?
Yeah. So it's like with all these Miniso places nearby, it's like I should get with one of them and be like, hey, maybe I can set up some pop-up trading event. I'll think about that. But
Exactly.
hey, we've got someone that called in. Hey, can you hear us? I can't hear you. Oh, I think I can. Who is this?
Hey, what's
Oh,
going on,
Jim
Jim Cow?
PLX. Whoa. Oh, hold up. It's saying Hey, can you talk again real quick? Jamco? Okay. Let me fix. Okay, I know what to do. I have to put your link in here. And
Audio
then
engineering on the fly.
okay, now everyone will be here. Jim Killix, good to talk to you. I hang out with him every morning, Monday through Friday. I'm Blue Gamer. No joke. What's up, man?
Yeah.
Oh, he just disappeared. That's too bad. Okay, we'll call back in. But yeah, no, Jim Killx, Gundam fan, video game fan. Oh, that might be him again. It is loading. Hey, Jim Killx, can you hear us? Sweet. Actually, let me get that link in here again. Sorry, I think every time I have to add the link, hit enter. What's up, man? What do you have going on? Oh, yeah, that's right. That demo we talked about. You know what? For some reason, it's still not. I don't know how this wouldn't work. I've done everything it's asked of me. Okay, so yeah, Jim Killick's talking about the Daemon X Machina demo. Just came out. What's up? No, it's not your end, because on my end, I'm just supposed to throw the link in. Yeah.
No, you're good. We can hear you. We just want to
Yeah.
make sure that the stream can hear you too.
Yeah, because in the chat, like it shows your the thing's not going up, which makes no sense. But sorry about that. Go on real quick about what you're talking about, and I'm gonna try to. Oh yeah, tell me about the. Oh yeah.
Oh man. Well, okay, so glitches aside, I never played the first Daemon X Machina. So how similar is in gameplay the Daemon X Machina 2 demo to the original?
Oh yeah. So yes. So one thing I gotta say, sorry, chat, that I can't get Jam Killex to come in through, even though I think I did everything correctly, and I feel so honored that Jam Killex called me. So sorry, dude, that I could not get it in. I don't know. I'll have to test that later. But so if you guys haven't tried it out, there is a demo out right now for Daemon X Machina, the new one, Titanic Scion, and you're actually in power armor that's similar to like Iron Man. And it's not bad. It's pretty interesting. I do have some gameplay up on Blue Gamer when I played the other day. But
I love the variety of loadout that you're describing, where it's like, choosing
Yeah,
5
you're
different
constantly
weapons.
finding stuff. As you're destroying guys, you're getting and you have 4 areas you can equip, and there's, like, an auxiliary. But, hey, Jim Killick, sorry, I'm gonna let you go just because I can't get that to work. But, yeah, we are gonna figure it out, and when we do, I'm gonna have you call in because that would be awesome. Okay, well, thanks a lot, man. I'll see you.
Cheers, man. Nice to talk to you.
Oh, man, so
It's so great to
what's
put a voice to the chat
Yes.
name because, like, obviously, Jam Calix is, you know, huge friend of both of our channels and all like
Yeah.
one of the
And his
OGs.
video game knowledge is awesome because I'll talk about stuff and then he'll be able to like kind of answer or fill in. Um, so basically what happens is Steven and I are able to talk on this because when everyone's in this chat room, I put the URL of each of us individually in a browser window, adding the audio source, and it's working. But for some reason, for Jam Collects, it would never have the audio go up on the thing. So,
It's probably in well, you're in Meld
yeah,
now.
in Meld,
Mm.
it works so good, but I'm gonna get that fixed because I had no clue I would have Jim Killex call in. That was awesome.
It's like if it were some other scrub, I wouldn't mind. Like,
Yeah,
no.
I know, right? It's like, yeah, what do you have to talk about? No, but so it's interesting though. I'm glad he brought up that game because the original one was more mecha, like a
Yeah.
mecha style game. And this one is interesting. While there's mecha in it, like Jim Kellex even told me earlier today that there's bigger mecha later. You actually start with more of an Iron Man style suit where one hand it's a sword, one hand it's a rifle, but then you can hold an additional rifle, I think, and then you can have like a shoulder mounted weapon, and then you have like your auxiliary, which is like a grenade or something. Now I'm early in the game and it's a demo that carries over, so I haven't seen everything, but then it's open world, and as you're destroying things, and you can like fly around like Iron Man, which is cool. But as you're destroying things, you go up to them to loot their bodies, and it's parts that you'll just like send to the hangar. The parts could be arms, head, chest, guns, weapons, and it's like wow, it's a really cool loot system. Um, it actually I played it on both PC and Xbox, runs great on both. But those glitches he's talking about, I've seen. I don't know how much that's a demo or how much that, you know. But what's interesting about this game is this seems like a big budget game, but it almost also seems, and I wonder if it's just because it's from Japan, where in Japan, maybe it has a bigger, and maybe it's because I'm used to mainstream gaming outlets never talking about this stuff. You know what I mean? It's like we might get, oh, look, Demon X Machina is out, but no one really talks about it. And it's weird because with Armored Core 6, it was such a huge deal when I don't think the game was really that great.
Ooh, hot take.
It just reminded me of, let's just make mechs. People want mechs to throw things on and then shoot. Like it's really missing like an essence of feeling like you're in a world. But,
That's honestly the way I feel about a lot of sci-fi. I was actually Ultronymous is in chat, and I saw his VOD of playing Anthem, and
oh yeah, yeah,
Anthem is such a competent like the gameplay looks just well made, polished. There's
yeah,
nothing I would complain about if I were just playing this game, but there was also nothing interesting about the visual design or the story. I'm just like, it's just another. It's one of the reasons I never got into like Destiny.
yeah.
Is I'm just like, okay, people are in armor and they're doing magic things. Like it's not. There's nothing that stands out. It's the same way I feel about Armored Core. Is like, yeah, okay, it's mecha, but like,
Yeah.
why
There's
should I care?
nothing sticky. Yeah, like
Yeah,
and here's a good example actually that came up recently. So I don't know if you're familiar with the game Hollow Knight.
yeah,
It's like
yeah,
Metroidvania. I remember when I first played it, didn't like it. Like I get it. It's side scroller. I can jump. I get abilities. I attack, like the things I like in a Metroidvania. But while the art style looked great, it was just black and white. The music is more like atmospheric, slower music. So and because it was a cartoony style, I didn't really have any grounding. But when I'm playing something like Castlevania Symphony of the Night, I'm seeing these grand cathedrals. I'm hearing this organ-based music, and I'm a
yeah.
vampire. Like there's contextual things happening that make me more into the game. And I think that's the thing with Anthem and Armored Core. there's not really stuff going on with those games that really, pull me in. And I think that's why I can spend so much time playing a game like Godzilla PS4, because it has the music. They're trying to rebuild the experience and essence of a giant kaiju, walking around in a city.
And I think Hollow Knight's a good example because while it didn't resonate with you, there are people that art style does
Yes,
stick with.
hugely, to the
And
fact where the
yeah.
sequel was 7 years in development.
Oof.
Yeah. And they were able to take their time. Yeah, and apparently there was no trouble with the development. It was just they wanted to take their time, but then they realized they need to stop adding things. Isn't that interesting?
I think what we need more stylized sci-fi in video games.
Yeah, instead of just an anime character, which again, I'm not hating anime characters, but you see the same, like it's realistic.
Or like the uber
world.
realistic, like the Mass Effect
Yeah.
type stuff. Like, we've seen enough of that. Like, give us like something, Pixar. I don't know.
So I had fun with one game. I didn't like it too much, although I beat it today. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. It's a 2D pixel.
I didn't like it, but I beat it.
Yeah, it's because, and so this actually proves my point. Actually, now I think about it, I didn't like the gameplay loop, but I love the controls. I love the music. I love the graphics. Like everything else was awesome. So I was like, I'm willing to just go through, because how the game works, it's really you time your attacks, and some enemies can only be killed by certain attacks, but you can only get the attack by killing an enemy that gives you that essence to attack. So it's almost like the game becomes almost like a timed rhythm game if you actually want to get through the level, instead of just taking your time using your equipment, trying to figure out how to get through things. It wants you, because the double jump is neat. It doesn't make you jump again. It makes you bounce off a enemy or projectile. So the whole game you're like bouncing off, but you have to, you can only, if you want to clear it correctly, you can only attack certain things certain ways as you go. You know what I mean? You can brute force it, but your health is going to be low. You're going to miss the challenges, etc. And I showed you the I don't know if you watched it yet. I think it was last night. I sent you a link to that game, Devil Blade reboot.
Yeah.
Which those graphics, that atmosphere, the music, like it was a shmup that I was willing to just play through multiple times, when sometimes it's hard if it's like, oh, I died. Do I really want to do this again? But that game, it had the atmosphere and everything. So, love talking about video games, but to bring this back to Gundam, I think that's the key thing they need to focus on with the Gundam game, is the atmosphere. What can we do contextually to give it everything it needs? Make sure the music is there. Make sure the graphics have an art style to it that complements Gundam. It would be very interesting if they started doing art style similar to like New Translation within the graphics.
So okay, this is like a thought experiment that we always do at my work. Is like, you have $1 to spend. What is the one thing that you would work into a Gundam game? Like, if the music had to suck because we didn't have the budget for music, like the gameplay had to suck because we didn't have the budget for gameplay, what's the one thing that you think perfectly embodies Gundam that makes the video game successful?
I think it would be the controls.
The control, yeah.
To just make it feel like you are part of this machine that you are controlling in some way, somehow. Yeah. And not make it where it's a standard, right trigger to shoot. And maybe it is, but kind of maybe evolve the standards.
Yeah. I mean, there's a way to be familiar without being tropey, I guess. Is that the right word? Where it's like, right trigger to shoot, but does it have to be left trigger to aim? Like,
yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Or another thing that could be useful is, how like a lot of times auto aim or aim assist is in the settings. Well, make it where that's part of the experience, because that existed within Mobile Suit. So it's almost like you can tune on the fly how you're aiming or auto assisting or whatever, because it's part of controlling. So that's almost like I'm saying it has to be first person because you're in a cockpit. But I think Capcom has proved this, and recently Avowed is you can have a game both in first and third and still work.
Yeah, and Capcom does like auto aim assist when it comes to the Resident Evil titles. So
Yeah,
it's like that's not a totally unheard of
right.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot I think can be done. Even something as simple as Bandai Namco leveraging the Switch and doing something with the motion controls or the mouse, like Gundam related. Like it is weird when we see this stuff. And yeah, even today I was looking up a golf video games. I don't tend to care about real golf, but golf video games are pretty fun.
They are.
Yeah, how do you feel about golf video games?
Oh, I love them.
Okay.
Especially like, the timing, like whenever it's like one of those things where you have to time your swing and it's like, okay, I want to get the most
Yeah.
power but without losing control. Yeah.
That stuff is fun. Yeah, because there's that satisfaction when you pull it off. And
Yeah.
so there's this new game coming out September 5th. I think it's called Everybody's Hot Shot Golf or something like that.
Right, because it's a combination of Hot Shots Golf and
And
everybody's
everybody,
golf.
yeah.
So yeah, they
Uh I forget what I'm distributed, produced by, published by Bandai Namco. So it's funny how some things they get and they understand
I
when it
wonder
comes.
if any of the high ups at Bandai Namco thought maybe we should put some Gundams in everybody's Hot Shots Golf.
Yeah, I mean
That would be a perfect partnership right
but
there.
but you know what? That would make more sense because it is within they might as well be doing that within their brands. Put it in
Can you imagine a Zaku teeing off with like a Heat Hawk and just like
yeah, Heat Hawk. That's a good idea. But then even go a step further and make it where maybe there's a skin in why am I forgetting the name? Not Dark Souls, the new one, Elden Ring.
Elden Ring, yeah.
A skin in Elden Ring or armor where you can be like the Zeta Gundam, and then one of the bosses is a Psycho Gundam, but you're using Elden Ring combat. that would be so
I
sick.
mean, they wouldn't even have to go that far out of the realm of like, yeah. Have you seen those fan arts of like Gundams, but as samurai or like as
Oh,
Yoni or Oni, and it's like it's like these traditional like
yeah.
what is it, umi art paintings like
Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but I know what you're talking about.
but yeah, the traditional Japanese paintings, and it's like, dude, do that, but in Elden Ring.
Yeah, that's actually okay. You've just came up with a good idea. It's almost like a period piece for a UC Gundam in some sort of fantasy setting, but
Kind
like
of like
maybe
what
in
they did with Call of Duty, where it was like tactical.
right, exactly. So, but I think you're hitting on something here because make it a fantasy period piece. You're Amuro, but you wear this armor that's reminiscent of the Arc 72, but you're a samurai, and maybe the swords are still beam sabers, just to play with that. But that would get people's interests up in, oh, what is this from? When you would be getting a complete, because what's really popular in video games is samurai stuff. Those games just keep coming out. People buy them.
The
Ghost of
Ghosts of
Yotei,
Period, yeah.
Rise of the Ronin, Ninja Gaiden's coming out. That's not fully samurai, but it's in that sort of aesthetic. There's another one. I can't really think of it. But anyway, yeah, that would be a way to get fans in of Gundam, or make it where it's like, here's this fantasy action role-playing game, but it's really based in the Gundam. I wonder how many people would hate that, actually. That's the real question. That's
All the right people
but it's an interesting time because all these big video game companies, the big ones, not the small ones, all the big ones are scrambling. Bandai Namco did have to cancel a bunch of games. They do contract work for Nintendo. Sony bought a larger stake into Bandai Namco. And I know I'm targeting Bandai Namco because it's Gundam, but it's all of them. Even Sony's like, yeah, we're going to get out of the hardware business. But did you hear Valve is going to come out with a Steam console?
which is so funny. It's like when everybody else is getting out of hardware, the one company that makes money every time they throw a sale on software is.
And what's funny about that is I think it kind of goes to where we see the video game industry fall apart is we had Nintendo, Sega, and then once Sony came in, and then Microsoft, now it's these big corporations that just want a gaming market, not that they are a gaming company. And then you see
Right.
after a couple decades of, yeah, we're losing on this, let's just get out of the business. Nintendo has always stayed in their business, in their market, and
Yeah.
that's allowed them to thrive. And so I think it's very funny to think if these companies were to look back, Microsoft was scared. Sony wanted to get into everyone's home by, okay, everyone's into video games. Let's do 3D graphics, get in everyone's home. Microsoft was scared, so they're like, okay, let's make an Xbox store in everyone's home. And now it's like none of them want to make consoles anymore.
No.
It's, you know,
Well, and I think a lot of it comes down to, and you've touched on this in the past, is when the CEO of a company, when a company is first founded and you have the CEO, they are typically somebody with a vision that like they have a passion for something. When you bring in these CEOs that are just business people, they do not care about the industry that they're in. They don't care
no,
about the fans, they don't care about the customers. All they care about is generating continual business. And you see it in video games, you've seen it in Hollywood, you see it just in Microsoft in general, not just like
mm,
Microsoft proper, is these CEOs are not interested in the industry that they're in. They're not interested in the market that they're in. All they care about is keeping the train running. And
yeah,
as a result of that, they don't know what to make anymore. We don't know what movies to make. All we know is that Marvel movies make money, so we're just going to keep making Marvel movies. We don't know what video games to make. All we know is that Fortnite and Roblox generate tons of revenue, so we're going to keep doing Fortnite and Roblox stuff. They don't know what they're doing because they don't have any passion for it. They
passion.
don't
Yeah.
care. Like,
That it is absolutely true. As much as I was growing up, I remember when bands would sell out and then it would be like, people would be like, nah, they didn't sell out, man. They just, want more money. But even if there's nothing against AFI for wanting to go mainstream, that's okay. The art changed.
100%.
Even if it's stuff that people like, it was influenced by the money. And
Yeah.
that can happen though, but we'll end on this. I never had a Commodore 64, but apparently it was super popular to the point where like it was kind of dead, and then a YouTuber bought the rights and they're going to start producing Commodore 64. It's like with a team with the original founders.
That's so cool, man.
So it's like getting the passion back into that. Although it could be a cycle. In 20 years it got big enough to where something happens, but I think I seek that out. I seek out creators or companies that you see like a passion. And as much as I might talk bad about Bandai Namco, blah, 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 like any corporation, it's not like I'm just looking them out. Sunrise has a passion for their Gundam storytelling, because I think when it comes to Universal Century, there is nothing as offensive as the most offensive Star Wars, in my opinion, in Universal Century storytelling.
Yeah, Sunrise is very conservative when it comes to UC storytelling. Like they're very protective of it. They do not loan those rights out willy-nilly.
And I noticed Requiem for Vengeance isn't really talked about much, even though I liked it. So I can kind of get how it's kind of basic, but almost like in a good way, where it's like, no, this is just a straight up UC Gundam story. It's not offensive in any way, it's just, here's a UC Gundam story. Now, yeah, it didn't do crazy, but I think that's this balance that they know Sunrise knows to do with their Gundam UC. They introduce those darker elements with things like Hathaway, and then have the side
Yeah.
stories. But anyway, that was a lot of fun. Thank you. We're done here. So just to add, I really wanted to get the call into work, and I am going to be testing that for the rest of the week and weekend so that next week we can do the call in again. I so pumped that GMKLX called in. So thank you, GMKLX. That was awesome. Yeah, so I'll kind of get that working. And then I don't think there's anything else to really say, Steven. Anything else you want to plug or
No.
talk about?
Have a great Gundam weekend, you guys.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, have a great Gundam weekend. And then, yeah, see you all next week. Peace out.
Cheers.